Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Imani here. Today we're going to be reviewing the Morphe Fluidity foundation. Finally, I got my hands on it. I didn't want to purchase this online. Where I live, there is no Morphe store, so I had to wait for it to come in stock at Ulta. And I've been calling for weeks and I could not find a store in Maryland that had this foundation. But finally, I found it. So I was able to go to Ulta. I did a lot of swatches, and then finally I think I found my perfect shade. Okay, and I also got the concealer, so we're going to be trying that out today and see if this foundation is really oily girl approved. So if this is your first time watching Le Beat, welcome, and if this is not your first time, you already know what it is. Okay, we're gonna get into this review and wear test. Today I probably am gonna wear this foundation for about 5 to 6 hours, maybe even more, so we can really see what's good with this foundation and concealer combo. All right, they came out with pressed powders and they also came out with 2 primers. I didn't get those. I didn't prime my skin today. I just use my moisturizer and then jumped right into it. You guys know I don't like to prime my skin with these reviews because I really want to see how the foundation works on its own. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into this review. Okay guys, so let's jump into this foundation. Now I only got one shade of the foundation. I bought the F5.20. right now this foundation is matte. It is full coverage. It has 1 full ounce in it, and the packaging looks like this. I actually like a squeeze tube so I can get everything out, so I appreciate this. It's very sleek, and this one has warm, deep with neutral golden undertones. Now I don't know if that is really accurate because to me it looks a little bit more peachy red. So that's why I chose this one. Now we know the foundation came out in 60 shades, so it was kind of difficult to decide which one I wanted to try. But ultimately I think we got a winner. In Ulta they don't give samples, so I wasn't gonna buy a whole bunch of these foundations. It does retail for $18. Now let me tell you the claims of the foundation. It says 24-hour long wear, sweat proof, transfer resistant, water resistant, free of oils, fragrance, and parabens, and great for all skin type. Now I have used the foundation before, but I didn't get to do a full wear test and film it. So my first impressions is that it is very matte, and this Oily Girl Approved series is all about what could keep us shine free for a long period of time. So I am here for the matteness of this foundation, and I can't wait to show you guys how it looks and ultimately how it wears. The concealer retails for $9. You get 0.15 ounces. The shade that I got was C4.45, and this is rich with peach undertones. I believe there are 31 shades of this concealer, and I just remembered I wanted to pick up the white one, but I didn't. So this is the one I got. So let's just jump into this. So I just squirt a little bit out into my hand right here, and what I realized from the last time is that your sponge needs to be really wet. It can't be too dry because it's gonna be hard to spread it, right? So spreading very nicely on my skin. So as you guys can see, that is a pretty good color match for me. This is the side with no foundation. This is the side with foundation, and it covered up all my dark spots that I usually have in my contour line right there. So what I squeezed up before did about half of my face, so I am going to squeeze out that much. Now I can't tell how much I'm squeezing out because there's no pump, so I'm just eyeballing it. You guys see how much coverage it's given? It's amazing. Like, I love the coverage. I know a lot of people were really bad talking this foundation, but I think that I actually really like it. If you have dry skin, you probably will not like this foundation, but for our oily girls out there, I think you're gonna love it. And hopefully you can find your shade. There are 60 shades, varying undertones. So, if you can find your shade and you are an oily girl, I think you would really like this foundation. This foundation, in terms of coverage, is reminding me of Huda. It doesn't blur your skin as much as Huda does. And there's a kind of, the smell of it is kind of painty. It smells like, I don't want to say paint, but I don't know, it has a smell, but it's not a strong smell, so I like that. Okay, we're up close and personal. You're not seeing a dark spot on my skin. It all looks very, very even, and that is what I appreciate about this foundation. Okay, so that is done. Now we're gonna try the concealer. Now I really, really like this wand. It is like a sponge. Now I don't know if this concealer dries quickly, so I'm gonna do one side at a time. But y'all, it is spreading really, really nicely. I'm taking the other side of this Morphe sponge and I'm gently patting that under my eye. The coverage of this concealer, I would say, is medium to full. So the concealer is 16-hour long wear, sweat proof, transfer resistant, water resistant, free of fragrance and paraben, ophthalmologist tested. So yeah, this is how my face is looking, guys. I am going to set my under eyes with Patrick's powder. The last time I used this foundation and concealer, I used my Fenty Beauty powder, but I think that that was a little too matte for the concealer. So today I'm trying out Patrick's powder, which y'all know is also my fave. I think Patrick's powder is a better match for this concealer. It's not as drying as the Fenty Beauty powder. So I'm just going to dust that off. Y'all, I'm actually really liking this foundation. I just feel like people who used it, their skin probably is dry or even normal, or they don't like the matte look. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. The face is finished. I will have everything that I used to complete my face in the description box below, so don't worry about that. But yeah, we're gonna do this wear test, y'all. Right now it's 10:28. It is looking immaculate. Okay, not a blemish in sight. Super smooth. Okay, concealer under the eyes is also looking smooth. We'll see when I come back how it's looking. Hi guys, so I am back. You wouldn't believe what the time is right now. It is 9:32 p.m. That means we wore this foundation for almost 12 hours, okay? For 11 hours. And I'm here to tell you that this foundation is the oily girl's dream. So whatever you heard on the YouTube, don't listen to them, all right? I found my perfect shade, 5.20. If you're Fenty Beauty 450, if you're Huda Beauty 530, this might be the one for you. Now, there are 60 shades of this foundation, so this may not be the one for you, but listen, you may be able to find your shade. Yes, some of them do look green. They say olive, but they look green. Yes, everybody may not be able to find their shade, but I would say give this foundation a chance. Let's move on to the concealer. Concealer, I'm not like sold about it. At first I said it reminded me of Fenty, and I take that back. It doesn't remind me of Fenty because nothing I have is like Fenty. Fenty is so creamy, blends out like a dream. This, I would say, kind of reminds me of NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I would compare these two. What I like about this though is this applicator. This applicator is bomb. It's like a sponge tip. It's really good. Just glides. I like it. It puts just the right amount of product on. You don't have to keep dipping in. What I don't like about the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer is that the applicator is so small. You have to keep dipping. I don't like that. This applicator is good. I don't know. I think it's a little too dry for me. So under my eyes get very dry. And the reason why I like the Fenty Beauty Concealer is because it's so creamy and so hydrating. So everywhere on my face, other than under my eyes, I want to be matte. And I think this is a bit too matte for under my eyes. So yeah, guys, I'm going to give this Morphe foundation 5 out of 5. I don't think I've given another foundation on my channel 5 out of 5. I really, really, really like this foundation. Oily girl approved. Now, if you can't find your shade, I'm sorry about that. You know, I don't know if they're gonna put more shades in or what, because they already have 60. Usually they're like, we have 20 shades, and then they come up with the extended shade range, and then more people could try it. But like, when you have 60 shades, what do? You know, do you take out some shades and put in some shades? I don't know what they're gonna do. because people were complaining that some of the shades and the undertones just weren't right. But I was able to find my shades. I was happy about that, and I actually love this foundation. So yeah, you heard it here. Morphe Fluidity is popping. Okay, do y'all see this? Do y'all see what I am talking about here? My skin is so smooth right now. It looked amazing throughout the day. Oh, I don't want to mention that I touched up once with my MAC blood powder because I was getting a little shiny. Yep, I got a little shiny, but it wasn't crazy. And I'm gonna insert a clip of how I was looking before I did the powder, just to show you guys. Okay, so I'm checking in. This is how my skin is looking. It's looking very like fresh. Yes, kind of shiny, but I think I like that. It's 4:30 right now, so 6 hours and I'm still going strong. No separation. Love. So you know, you can follow me on my social media platforms. It's the.beat on Instagram and on Snapchat, and the Beat Inc on Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel, put your bell on for notifications. Let me know if you're gonna pick it up, if I inspired you to try it. You know, tell me something in the comment section below. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great night, guys. Bye.